Hello everyone. If you are looking for cloud native cybersecurity project, so this video is for you. Today we will be building a SIEM solution and we will deploy it agent and we will monitor a system using AMA, Azure Monitoring Agent. So for SIEM, we will be gonna use Microsoft Sentinel, previously which are known as Azure Sentinel. Let's draw a rough architecture diagram. What would be our mini project requirement, and then later on we will draw this with the proper components. Then we will deploy it. So there are certain prerequisites for this project. First thing, like you must have a machine where you want to install the agent. Second thing, like you need Azure subscription. If you don't have, you can sign up for the free Azure subscription. Okay, so if I have to draw a basic architecture, what exactly we are looking for today project, so it would be like something we need a machine to monitor it. So in our case, let's consider it's Windows 10 client machine, and we need to deploy a SIEM, that is Microsoft Sentinel. Okay, so here, suppose to deploy a Sentinel, we need a log analytic workspace. Why? Because Microsoft Sentinel works around uh, data collections, and all the data collections comes into the wrapper of inside analytic workspace. So whenever we are taking it out, Microsoft Sentinel, it should be always a deployed log analytic workspace. So to deploy a log analytic workspace and Sentinel, there is a catch. It should ideally it should be best practice to deploy in same region. If you don't deploy in the same region, there will be lag. So here will be our SIEM, and after that we do need data collection via AMA, Azure Monitoring Agent. We will be installing Azure Monitoring Agent, and we will be configuring with uh, this data collection rule. Okay, this is the basic architecture we are looking for currently, and if I have to redraw this over the properly, so let me jump over my laptop screen and we'll see how we can draw in a proper good way. So in this project, there would be two components. First will be like same setup, and then later on the part of this project, we can do SOAR capability. So Sentinel itself has a SOAR capability. It means like we can security. So SOAR means security orchestration automated response. So it means like we do have in uh, out of the box features inside the Sentinel. So to automate the process. So first thing first, what we need to come with a cool site called raw.io. Why documentation is important? Since if you are building a project, documentation is why it's going to important, because if you are presenting this project to someone, or at the later point of the time, if you are referring at your own project, it would be much easier for anyone to follow the project step by looking at the documentation and basic architecture. That's why we are just planning it. So okay, so our basic requirement is, well, first thing first, we need a Azure subscription. Cool. So I'm just assuming this would be our cloud environment, and let me pull subscription icon. Okay. So so this will be our Azure subscription, something like a subscription. Cool. Inside the Azure subscription, now we will be whatever that services we are going to deploy, we will be wrapping up into a single resource group. So resource group is just like a container where same services having the same life cycle would be deployed into the same resource group. That's the best practice basically. So in the case if we have to delete it, so ideally instead of going each and every services to separately deletion, it would be like much better to delete entirely whole resource group. So this will be our resource group. Resource group icon. Let me pull. Not this one, this one. Okay, cool. Now we need, I said like whenever we are deploying a Sentinel, Microsoft Sentinel, it requires log analytic workspace. So to deploy log analytic workspace, it will be let's pull out log analytic workspace icon. So this is the log analytic workspace icon. So if you're not interested in documentation and if you feel boring while documentation, which is ideally it should be in a project, so you can skip this part and just come over the deployment part of the video. Okay, so here let's name it log analytics workspace. Cool. So inside the log analytics workspace, we need a Sentinel, our Sentinel to deploy it. So let's see, do we have Sentinel icon? Yep, we do have Sentinel icons. First, let me pull this rectangular box. And here it could be a Sentinel. Okay, cool. Uh, so this will be the architecture, but where we gonna monitor to install Azure monitoring agent in which system? For that, we do must have a Windows system. So let's not just Windows; it could be any machine. So if I am pulling any VM, you can deploy it over a bare metal system on premises or any server. That's up to you. Even you can yeah, fetch some other, like suppose you have GCP cloud with their instances running and you want to use a Microsoft Sentinel as the same portal, you can use it. So, okay, so let's pull this icon as a virtual machines. It would be outside, but inside the same resource group. This is our Windows machine system. Suppose we are going with Windows 10 client. Cool. Now we need to install Azure Monitoring Agent. So that would be ideally okay. That's so let's keep it like straight. Okay, cool. So here we will be installing Azure Monitoring Agent, and I believe it should be a data collection rule. Okay. AMA, and on top of this we can build a data collection rule. So data collection rule will be from log analytic workspace, and it could be data collection rules. Okay, cool. So what happened? Okay, so cool. So let me hide this. Hide this. Okay, so this is the basic architecture diagram what we wanted to deploy it over the Azure. So okay, let me jump over to my AG portal and let's see how we can do it now. So I am at my Azure subscription. Cool. So first requirement what we do have. First requirement is to create Azure subscription, which I do already have. Second is to create a resource group. Let's create a resource group. So I am using a AG portal method to deploy it. We can deploy it by Terraform itself. So create a resource group, like just name it like something Sentinel project. So you can deploy a resource group in your nearest location. Currently, I'm going to deploy it by default. So this tag feature, if you have multiple resource group with a similar name but different use cases like production, testing, or UAT, something like that. So you can use the tag feature to easily filter it out. But currently, I do have my cleanup environment, so clean environment, so I don't have any necessity to use a tag feature. So just validate and review and create. It won't gonna take much time. So our resource group is ready. Next part is like to create a log analytic workspace. So before jumping to log analytic workspace, let's deploy this virtual machine because it takes some time to spin up. Meanwhile, it will be spinning up. We can deploy this log analytic workspace. Cool. So just go to here and type virtual machine and create a virtual machine with basic default settings. We don't want much. So here, select our Sentinel resource group as a Sentinel, whatever we created. Give it a name like Sentinel VM, something like that. And again, I am just choosing my virtual machine deployment at the same reason. You can choose it wherever you want. Uh, Ability zone, no, I want a single ability zone. Ability zone is required if we have any SLA where we want like high uptime should be like 99.999%. So it will create a spin up uh, multiple replica of my virtual machine in the different zones inside the same region. So one zone will went down, other virtual machine will taking care of it. So my ability of the my services will be up, always up. So that's the use case of going with the multiple ability zone or this feature. Currently, I don't want, so it's fine. Security type, it's okay. Let's go with by trusted by default one. And here we want, we can go with any type Windows Server, Linux, Debian, Red Hat, CentOS, whatever. Currently, I'm just selecting Windows 10 because most of the time Windows 10 and Windows 11 client machine, most of the people use in day-to-day use cases. So if we can achieve this case, so similar way we can deploy into our bare metal. Bare metal means my local system of the of Windows system. That's why I'm choosing Windows 10. That's by default. If some any discounts are going on, let's say take it out. This core and CPU is fine for me. Okay, here comes with the cool username and password for my virtual machine. So I can go with the Sentinel VM as a username and password. Okay, I believe I'm typing correct. Easy to remember password. Okay, so here comes the cool feature. If you are connecting with, if you are in the Windows machine, Windows, what do you say? Like your host machine is the window, you want to connect with that host machine to the virtual machine. So you need a port number 3389, which is RDP. Anyway, you can use it via HTTPS, SSH. So we gonna use Azure Basin for the login purpose. So again, I don't think I do need RDP also, but let it be keep tick down. And here just to confirm you do have agreement license. Disk size management, it's okay for me. I don't want anything, just validate and review and spin up the virtual machine. So it will just validate some checks. I don't want to save the password. Just click on the mm, create button. Okay, meanwhile, let's duplicate the step and I start working on this part. Log analytic workspace deployment. So select my user account. So if you see, deployment is in progress, and mm, okay, let me come here once again on the dashboard. So we need a log analytic workspace now. So just search log analytics workspace. Currently, I don't have any long-analytic workspace. Just create it. So remember what I said. Long-analytic workspace and Sentinel should be in the same region for the ideal purpose, so without any latency. So it means like whenever we are installing a job monitoring agent inside our machine. So if we are searching, passing a query like sign in logs or something to pull it out, to test it out and pull it out the logs are successfully connected or not, in that scenario, it will take some time. Let's see what Logatic workspace resource group. Okay, the same resource group. I want Sentinel project. Name, give it as something like Sentinel workspace. Again, so I am just selecting H2S. I don't have any types. Review and validate and just create it. Okay, so meanwhile it's spinning. We can deploy uh, on this Sentinel itself. That's fine because it's not gonna take much time. Virtual machine will gonna take some time. It's cool. Okay, so meanwhile it's deploying, we can have one more thing, like how to document it our project. So there are two ways to document. Either you can deploy, either you can document it over the GitHub, and the ideal way what I found, like much easier way what I found is like this site called Gitbook. It's free to use. You just go to Gitbook site. It's not like paid website. Even though paid features are there, you can go and give it a try, but free features are more than sufficient to start a project. So what we can do, I have a couple of the projects, so it's fine. We can go and create a uh, uh, new space. So this new space would be called, let me hide this. Okay, so new space, let me create a new space. So space is just like a folder where I will be having all my documentation ready, and then it will, if I push it or if I make it to make a web page, like documentation to host, then it will be and come under doc sites. So just like if I give it like Sentinel project YouTube, something like that. Sentinel deployment. No, no, instead of Sentinel deployment, we will make it title as SIEM project. Okay. Description if you want, so you can keep it like this is my first SIEM. Okay, let's use a word called cloud native. So what's cloud native means, like all the life cycle stays inside the cloud of all the services running. So that's why I called a cloud native SIEM project using micro Microsoft Sentinel. Cool. So here we can come up with like templates if you want to use a template, something like that. There are a couple of templates, like this API document planning, internal wiki, something like that. But currently we are just going with the vanilla simple. So how we to write a good project? So okay, so first thing we will having a heading called prerequisite, something like that. Or let's make a objective something. Okay, object. What is the objective of our this project? To build a cloud native SIM solution and monitor a machine and run monitor a machine with process ID 4624, which is like successful login. If you don't know, I can put it like success login, something like that. Okay, so this is my objective of the project. Let's pull second heading to H2. Okay, cool. So heading to what could be we can write it. We can write it like whatever these things are there, architecture diagram or something like that. Architecture, and if you have to do, you just control A and copy as an image, right click and copy as image and just paste it. So it will be gonna paste it here like our architecture, but it came as a black screen. Okay, cool. So what we can do, let me, because I do get a inbuilt snapshot feature. Copy this. Forget it. We are troubleshooters. Yep. Now it's worked correctly. Now it's now much visible, something like that. Okay. So meanwhile, let's see what exactly happening. So our long-acting workspace is deployed. Our VM is also deployed. So first thing first, let's come for the virtual machine and see how we can log in inside the virtual machine. So this virtual machine should be running a state. Ideally, it would be because whenever you deploy a virtual machine, its state will be always running. And how to connect it? We can connect it by RDP, SSH, whatever you want, but we are going to deploy with Azure Bayesian method. So we just need to click on this deploy button and it will deploy for us these many VNet, IP, and this thing. So just deploy Azure Bayesian. It will take some time. Meanwhile, I can jump it over here, go to resources. So this is my log analytic workspace. If I come to here in under the settings and agents, so it can show you like zero Windows computers are connected like via Azure monitoring agent, correct? So we need to connect it first. To connect first, we need to deploy a Sentinel. Come to Microsoft Sentinel. So here nothing is there. So we are at this stage. Long active workspace done, resource group done, Azure subscription done. This Windows machine is spinning correctly. Now we are at this stage of the Microsoft Sentinel deployment. Come to Microsoft Sentinel, go and create. And here, make sure whatever the log analytic workspace region is there, you have to deploy there itself. Uh, we have to select the sub. Okay, so here, if you don't have any workspace, you can go and create it. But we just now we created it Sentinel workspace, so you can select it and click on the add. So what happens like whenever you are deploying Sentinel for first time, it will give you 30 days period free trial. Free trial means like you can ingest 10 GBs of the data. And so see here, it's showing me like free trial is activated from this date to this date, and we can use 10 GB per day as a free, both Sentinel and Log Analytics, and data beyond 10 GB per day will be billed accordingly. Okay, we are agreed. Okay, so how to add uh, connectors? So there is a couple of the way. Uh, if we have to use out of the box connectors, we can just come to here, content management, content hub. And currently, okay, before jumping there, just go and configure, check like, do we have any data connector installed or not? So if you see here under the configuration page, the data connector, so zero data connectors are installed, zero data connectors are connected state. And so how we can connect? We can come to our content hub where we can find it out of the box. All the basic data connectors are available there. So we can we can search for Azure monitoring agent. Okay, it's coming from my history. So let's see what is there. So we can take it Windows security event. So security events contains Azure monitoring agent and legacy system. If you can see here, this legacy system, it will install basically two agents. So currently, legacy system is already depreciated by Microsoft after 31st of August, I believe. Okay, so meanwhile, it's configuring. Let's see what's happening to our Bayesian. Bayesian is again in deployment state. That's cool. Come to this page. Architecture is done. Now let's see what exactly we do need. Uh, we can make it as a prerequisite, like what exactly we do need here, but that's not a required. So let's directly jump to steps, and we can use here bullet points, or else like if do we have. Okay, let's go with bullet points, or else we can go with um, ordered list like one, two, three kind of thing. First thing like something like that. Sign up for Azure. Sign up or login. Slash login. For Azure, that's our first step. That's done. Second is what? Create a resource group. Create a resource group named. What is our resource group name? So let's keep it simple. Resource group name is our Sentinel project. So copy this. Create a resource group called Sentinel project. So here it will be changed according to you. Whatever you wanted to create a name it a resource group. That's fine. Then what's next? We created a log analytic workspace. Okay, so before that log analytic workspace, which is just document like we wanted a machine where we can install agent tools to install Azure monitoring agent. We need a machine. Okay, so we are deploying Windows 10 client VM inside Azure for itself. Okay, so it's fine. Uh, Deploying the spelling is wrong. Create spelling is also wrong. Okay, cool. Those are the typo. Just excuse me. And how to deploy basically a virtual machine. That if you want to add those steps, it's fine up to you. But I don't think it's required. But we can create a VM operating system Windows 10 Windows 10 something like that. And what is our virtual machine name? So it's Sentinel VM itself. So we can write it like a name of our virtual machine, OS Windows 10, something like that. Okay, and Bayesian to connect with our Azure virtual machine. That's cool. Then we need to create what we have done. We have created Azure Log Analytic Workspace, so we can create log analytics workspace. And oh, cool, man. I'm so much of typos today. Okay, cool. So log analytic workspace we did, and then deploy MS MS Sentinel inside same log analytics workspace, and keep that log analytic workspace in the same region just for things. Okay, cool. So we do have everything there. Then uh, install Azure monitoring agent via not via from content hub. Search for Windows security connector. What was that? Windows security events or something? Windows security events. Yeah, that is the connector name. So Windows security event, and we have already given it word install verb here. Okay, that's fine. So our baseline is still being added. So Sentinel, it's done. If I come to here, or else here we can see here the number of the um, connectors installed is 1. But if I come to again data connectors and just refresh it, so it will show us like 2 connectors are downloaded, but connection state is 0. It's not yet connected state. So connected is 0. Why? Because we just have downloaded it. We haven't installed or we haven't configured it. So how to do? And one more thing is to check it quickly. So this bar, it's currently white colored. If it is a connected state, it will turn into green. So how to do? We can select whatever the connector we want to configure, and there will be a page open. So we are ignoring this legacy agents. Why? If you look at here somewhere, it must be has written legacy is already depreciated. So anyway, we are not going with this. We're going with Azure monitoring agent. We just have to open the connector page, and we have to give the path basically where we want to install. And here we don't have any data collection rules. So that's what we were talking here in the diagram. Azure monitoring agent requires a data collection rule. So this rules we configured it here, and this rule will be by default it will comes to log analytic workspace. So it will ingest all the data into the log analytic workspace, and from the log analytic workspace, Azure monitoring agent gonna pull it inside the same dashboard. Cool. So here we don't have any rule, so just create a data collection rule so that it will collect the raw data from our host machine. If you so we have to give it a name. So give it a like Windows event rule, something like that. And the resource will be the same. Go to next. Okay, so it will have to define the path where I mean like where the scope where you want to install this. So this is our resource group. Inside the resource group, this is our virtual machine running. So we want to install there, right? Azure monitoring agent should be installed there to fetch out the data collection data, and data collection role should be there. So this is our virtual machine. Go and select that. So it will ask you like what type of the rules we want, security rules, minimal, or so we want everything. So all review and create, it will go for validation and just create. So meanwhile it's spinning, we can quickly check our baseline is up. So it means we can come to the our virtual machine, close this tab. So our virtual machine is in the running state. Just click on this Bayesian part and give the username and password. And okay, so if you have forgotten the username, what was the username, password also, you can reset it else. And that's not a big deal. You just need to come to here, operating system, settings under the operating system. You can get your administrative username. So always remember computer name and administrative username could be a different. Uh, so I'm just copying this, my username, Bayesian, just pasting it here and give it a password. The main benefit of using a Bayesian is like we don't need to expose our IP, and we don't need to there won't be a like VM type small window inside our laptop, so it will be very difficult to manage and look. It will just spin up our VM inside the browser itself. That's so cool, right? Okay, so if I refresh it, it should show a name here. Is it spin successful install extension data collection only succeeded? So, so here this was I was talking about like log analytic AMA legacy connectors is already depreciated after 31st of August. Let it get installed. So our virtual machine is spinned up running. We can even access, continue, confirm, and start browsing inside. And that's finished. Whatever the theme we want, we can go and check whatever we want. So this is our virtual machine running, spinning up. That's Windows machine. You can see that's the Windows 10 client. How to check that? If I come once again, it's a little bit slow. If I come it here, you can see guys, this is the my Windows machine spinning. If I come to this PC, if I right click anywhere and click on the properties, you can see it here like 8 GB is RAM, Windows 10 Pro. That's true. Okay, cool. So let's come and see installation is successful. Go to manage and just configure our data collection rules. Windows security went via AMA that is in use. Let's select that. So it will show me a data collectors here. Open data connector page. So here we do need a data collection rule basically. Let's go and give it a data collection rule. Name something like Windows, no, something like Sentinel, something like that. Sentinel central project next resources. Resource will be again same inside Sentinel, that same virtual machine. This is collect all security event, review, and create. It will go for the validation and it will confirm and check. Okay, so data collection is fine. Let me refresh it, keep refreshing. It will should come here. So status is here connected. That is green symbol. That's cool. See here. Sign in logs is here. Windows event it came. So okay, that's the previous one. So let me delete that. So to avoid conflict. From delete. Yes. Yeah. Right. Delete. Now coming to this again, this diagram. So we have Sentinel spinned up. We have a monitoring agent installed. We have data collection rules installed. Now the point is that really installed? Yep, we can cross verify. Go to log analytic workspace because data collection rules sits on the log analytic workspace. Go to log analytic workspace. Come to under settings, agent, searching for Windows system. One Windows system is already connected via Azure monitoring agent. That's cool. That's why data collection rule is here. If you want to go and set up, that's up to you. Currently, we are just skipping that part. Now we coming to close this, close this browser and settings, everything of this window machine. Anyway, now let's see. Is that we are getting a sign in logs here inside the Sentinel. So how to check that inside the Sentinel? Come to our come to Microsoft Sentinel. Go go to logs, and we will run a simple KQL query so that it will be sign in logs. Let's see here. Okay, so just run it like just run security. Is that I am typing something wrong? Okay, not alert. Yeah, I do need event security events where activity contains mm, success. So if I do run it, so it will show like how many times my system got l- sign in. Rerun this part, content. Okay, so here spelling is of the success is wrong. I don't know why I am typing today wrong. Okay, so cool. We do got all this login data, right? But we don't want all this system informations, right? So we can just hide it out by giving one more parameters like where account doesn't contain system. So just give it like that account. So this part is account doesn't contain what is that system. So after running this query, all the system will should remove it. Let's see what is that operates. So if you see all my slash systems has gone and all those are the real user. So account type is user type here. That's what it is showing. And top of it, we can build analytic query, log, Sentinel query, so that whenever there is a sign in inside this virtual machine, right? Inside this virtual machine, it should show us a alert inside our SIEM portal dashboard here. So if I okay, so let me copy this query because again I have to type it. I just want to show you one more thing. Control C. So if I jump over to my incident dashboard, so nothing is incident is found, right? So what we can do, we can run the same log, same query, and we can save it as an analytic rule, Sentinel analytic rule, and we can say create a alert rule on top of it. But we don't want exactly this much. We want more information, so we can give more parameter like project. So project is basically a uh, operators, I would say in SQL, where it will project our data in certain ways or um, certain ways or certain keywords what exactly we want to fetch it out. Okay, so we can give it like what exactly we want. So we want account space comma and something like that. We want this activity also we can take it, and we can take it's like computers and stamp time generated ID we can take it. And what else we can take? Okay, we can take it like event ID. Yeah, cool. That event ID we want. So that, so how much how properly you write this SQL query, that much data you will get inside the incident. Even it will, if we have host IP address, so host name and IP addresses, so it will go and generate us uh, the incident graph inside the Sentinel. Mm, okay, so this much is cool. So what we can do, we can go and create a rule on top of it. Let me create control A and run first. Let's see, is that my SQL query is fine or not? Yeah, SQL fine, was successful logout. Activity is also coming. So activity is coming from here. My computer name, time generated, everything. Now create a Sentinel rule. So Azure monitoring agent rule is for like whatever services you are running inside the Azure and you want to monitor it. You can go with Azure monitoring agent, but for Sentinel alerts, for having a security sign in, so we can go with Sentinel alerts. One more rule is there. It's called NRT, near real time rule. So something like successful log in. And this is VM success login rule. Severity is medium, and MITRE attacks technique. So MITRE is organization which gives us so it how, so sign in means initial logging of the any system, right? So it will come under the OTTP, it will come under the initial part of that. Set the logic. So by default it will take our SQL query. So it will confirm like, do we have any mistakes or any typo, any, is that is gonna fine, it's fine. uh if I come back, okay, cool. So here is something it's asking like how you want to run the query. So minimum is 5 and maximum is 4. 5 hours, 5 minutes, and 14 days, I believe. If I change it to something like 1, so it will give me error. No, not hour. If we can remember, so see here. So my minimum is the 5 minutes and maximum is the 14 days we can run. So we have to give it the 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes it will trigger and search this SQL query and find out is there any successful sign in login to this virtual machine. Cool. Look up data for 5 hours, fine. So start automatically. Yep, it should be automatically. Or if you want any specific time duration to run, so we can go with custom and give the time. So threshold, like if the sign in is more than 0 times or 5 times, then only it should give it alert. Yeah, everything is greater than 0 should give it alert. Group it into single alert. That's true. Suppression rules like after running the query, it should stop it. We can go with it. Currently, we don't want incident response settings. Alert grouping is fine. Inside automated response. Here only the source capability of Sentinel comes in picture, creating playbooks and everything. We will see in the second part of this video. Just go and review and create. It will go for validation check. If it is validation is passed, we can go and save it. Okay, so we do have successful login analytic rules. How to check it? We can come back here, go to analytics. We don't want this, so we can remove. Come here under the configuration section of the analytics. There should be one analytic rule, our called sign in. So refresh it. Cool. So here it is, successful login. Successful login is there. Every 5 minutes it will run frequently. The person will not configured. It's custom. My trade access is the initial access, and this is will be the cable query. Cool. So what we can do, we can come to incidents blade. Anyway, it's we started taking out our successful login, but we will take it like real time thing. So we just toggle it or auto refresh. What we can do, we can come here, we can log out from the system, and we will try to log in. So just go to disconnect. We have it disconnected. Just close it. Come to VM. Give it the password. Just click on the connect. So we are just re-logging our system, and it should show us here the incident number 2, like there is a successful login. If it is like that, so we do have what's our project ready, basic SIEM for project ready, and we will going to deploy our this documentation with over the GitHub. So for that, we can come and click on our page and rename it, and phase one, instead of that phase one, it should be analytics. r- Analytics rule. So whatever the rule we have created, we're gonna type that to find successful log login. Instead of login, let's use the word sign in. So here, this is the feature to put a code. We can copy our the KQL query, and let's what happened is that got successful logged in. It should come here. Refresh. Okay, ideally 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes, it should come. There should be a incident here. And meanwhile, it's coming. We can go and we can work on our documentation finish. So analytics rules, I am just clicking and checking what the query we have given. So this is like our query. Control A C, not A here. Okay, cool. We can type it here, something like that. Is there any KQL? No. So let's give it a something like AQL. What is that? AQL is, I believe, IBM. No, I don't know. Mm-mm-mm. Let's go with instead of some, we can write it like AQL code. That's fine. Leave it as a plain text. It's okay. And come here. This was our analytics source. That's fine. What is that? My trade access should be initial access. So we just paste it. My trade attack mapping is initial access, and everything is fine. Let's come and see, do we have another incident on our portal? No, but why? Okay, is it like inside only it's storing? So let me delete that. No incident, that's cool. Just come back, disconnect once again, close it. Try to connect once again. So what happens, like we have added a group, like grouping of the alerts. That's why it could be a chance like the same alerts was added into the number one incident. Let's see if it is running fine, right? Okay, cool. We got a new incident, and incident ID is the number, incident number is the 2. The severity is the medium. Number of the events are the 5 because it's coming as the same. If we come here, view incident full details, what we do have, that the status is new, that is fine. Product name is Sentinel. Alert ID is this, nothing much information. Tactics and technique is nothing. Successful login, no, nothing much here. Okay, so we can take like we can use the source capability, use the run book feature here, create automation rule on top of this, and even we can have Microsoft Team install, so we can send it. And one more thing I can wanted to show you here, like this action is the same part, whatever is there, and instead of new, we can go with like active because we are working on this. Assigned if you have someone to like that, so assign to myself. Okay, so we don't have a user list here inside. So we in upcoming video we will be looking at that. So this is our simple project ready. We can take a snapshot of our incident portal and we can paste it into. So this is our incident portal. We can take a snapshot from here to here, copy, we can paste it. Analytic rules is fine. And we can create one more page that would be like Sentinel dashboard, something like that. Incident successful or not successful. Let's go with like incident dashboard. That image should come here. That's fine. Meanwhile, it's pasting there. What else we can do? We can keep it like data and analytics page screenshot. So it will give a validation like, okay, we do have something. If you want to give a markup, like how many data collection rules, two analytics rule, that is like 1.6 legacy system, and one is Azure monitoring agent. Active data connector is 2. Copy. Data connectors and rules. Rules is spelling is wrong. Okay, so this is the cool. We have done our bare minimum project setup with I did something wrong here. With bare minimum documentation, and we wanted to deploy it over somewhere GitHub or something. How we can do? We can go and configure that button, and it will show us how to configure with GitHub sync here or GitLab, whatever. So let me go quickly to jump to GitHub and show you how we can do like that. GitHub login. Okay, let's see. Is that okay? Anyway, I am already here. Let's go here, repositories. Quickly create a quick repo. Something like Sentinel, YouTube. This repo is Sentinel YouTube deployment. Okay, make it public. That's create a repository. That's empty repository. I don't want anything. That's cool. That's empty repository. If I come to here, integration. Uh, so it will ask for git sync. Okay, let's go for the git sync here. So I already have enable git sync it, or if it's not, let's ask enable. Okay, so it will ask to configure, connect with the GitHub. So it will ask to authenticate once, authenticate. Then it will ask like which repository you wanted to. So status is connected. So select the account. So this is my account, and then it will ask like which repository you want and how you want, like bidirectional or something. So what was the repository name? It's like Sentinel -u2, Sentinel -u2. Search the branch. So I don't have any branch, so it will be uh main, I believe. Okay, select that main. Okay, so this is keep it like that. So where you want to write the content, on GitHub or Gitbook? So we wanted to write on Gitbook and push it to GitHub, right? So let's sync it up. So what will happen after this syncing? If we do refresh, all the content from here, it should be in the GitHub. And finalizing the synchronization, something like that. Okay, so that's the end of our cool project. You can deploy it, you can share it over the resume, you can learn it more about. In upcoming videos, we will see like how we can use the leverage the source capability of the Sentinel and how we can utilize it. Let's get it. Let's refresh. Okay, cool. We do have, right? So everything you can do beautification however you want. You can just paste it out, whatever code is there, you can pull it out, you can deploy it there, everything is fine, up to you. But this will make you much visible, like you know exactly how to deploy a Sentinel as a SIEM tool. Thank you. Bye bye.